We're gonna come out of Isaiah this morning. Isaiah chapter 29. How many of you ever saw the movie The Ghost? Patrick Swayze.
I have.
A very touching movie.
Yes.
And I like that movie. I didn't cry, but Melissa cried. You cried? Yeah. Sometimes people do cry. All right, now, what got me though is you remember when they were sitting there with that pottery thing?
Yeah.
And they were all snugged up and they were getting that pottery thing just right. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Now, I want you to concentrate on this. In the book of Genesis, God said we came from dust. And then He breathed life into dust and made us. Some people's more prettier than other people, I have to admit that. God, Jim's an ugly contest. He's like me, he's ugly, so. But just think about the potter. Just think about the potter. Now, have y'all ever watched them actually do that stuff? They just keep going and going and going until they get they'll destroy it and start all over again and going until they get just right. Well, as a Christian, we have trouble. I don't know about you, but I have all kinds of problems in life. And you stop and I think sometimes about the potter wheel. The way God's had me on that wheel, spinning me around and around and around, trying to get me perfect the way He wants me. I'm not perfect. I'll never be perfect. Don't get me wrong. But trying to get me just like that vase, that vessel. And sometimes you get spinning on that too. And how many people in here, let me ask you a serious question. How many times in life is this, when you thought things was going good, then all at once chaos sets in, and the whole world starts spinning around you, and you're wanting to hang on, and you're hollering, God, please help me. But see, some people don't realize sometimes the chaos, the spinning in life is to make you grow, to mature, to get closer to God. When some people get to spinning, they give up. They walk out. You know, just forget about God. I was talking to a lady over here at the Marietta. Isn't that what you call it, Zach? Marietta.
Maranatha.
She'd had chaos in her life. Bad men, bad judgments in life. And as a young woman, they go through school, now I'm talking about mothers, we're going with this with mothers. You look for the perfect guy. You want to have a family. You want a house, car, you know what I'm saying? Money in the bank in case something happens. But sometimes in life, and I ain't blaming the woman, I ain't blaming the man, it don't work out. It really does not work out. And then chaos starts spinning in your life. Now, but a lot of people don't ask God for that mate. A lot of people that's living in sin, the Bible says, told the Jews to stay inside my people, or inside the Jews. And what I'm trying to say is, if you're going to get in with a relationship, you need to marry somebody that believes the way you believe. We have enough chaos in our life. We really do. Besides bringing other chaos in our lives. I had a problem one time. This girl was a Jehovah's Witness. She married a Church of Christ. And everything went good until they had their first child. All then the parents got involved. The Jehovah's Witnesses want to take the child that way. The Church of Christ mother want to take it that way, grandmother, whatever. And they said to the kids, some of the other kids that know Brother Eddie, they said, call Brother Eddie, he knows what to do. So they called me up and I said, I ain't touching that one. I didn't get involved in that, and so the Jehovah's Witnesses started sending their kids over here. And the kids was learning. And some of them people wanted to ask questions. When they had a problem, they'd ask the kids to ask Eddie. And I'd tell them, but I wouldn't get involved in nothing religious, you know what I'm saying? But we don't realize how life is while we're young. Some of us, now I was a bad drunk growing up. I love my beer, I love my liquor, you know what I'm talking about? And I didn't realize how dangerous that was. And then get under a car. Well, we built a hot rod. Now this is stupid, I know this is stupid. And we were drunk one night. and my uncle was driving. And I betted him a quarter he wouldn't do everything on the speedometer, and he opened it up coming between Crossville and Monterey. And we were drunk, so stupid that car got to floating. And we didn't find out or not. He let off. He said, Eddie, this is too dangerous. He said, I'm too drunk to drive. But I say that for a reason. We do things as children and we don't think about it. Then we get older in life, you look back at your life and you realize the mistakes you made.
Amen.
We all make mistakes. You can look at the book. Now, Gracie, let me see Gracie. Gracie can't see her future. When she turns 50, 60 years old, you know, it's a mystery to her out there. But we've done that mystery. I can look back at my life and I can tell you what happened from my age now. And you can too. You can. But she needs to follow God and take God for all He's got.
Amen to that.
Life won't be perfect. Even with God, it won't be perfect. Life's not perfect. We're sinners, saved by grace.
Saved by grace.
That's exactly.
Amen.
But these children in this room needs to really know who God is. If they meet somebody that don't go to church, 9 times out of 10, they're not going to go to church.
I'm not going to go.
They might go to church while you're dating them to get on your good side,
That's good preaching.
but after that, then they're not going to go to church.
Amen, brother.
And I look at mothers and I talk to mothers who went to school. Some of y'all probably know went to school down here. Some of them went to Louisville. Some of them went to school with me. And after school, they got on drugs. They got in with the bad person. But they thought it was the best thing in life at that time. We were young. We were in love. We had to have that woman. We had to have that man. And our parents are saying, you don't need that bleeding idiot. Let him go. No, I love them. I am, you know. And then we end up married. Then we end up crying like Jeff does every day. Lord, why'd you give me pills? Why'd you give me somebody else? You know?
It's the other way around.
But I look at the Bible, and when you want to find a good mother, and you young people need to know this too, look at the women in the Bible.
Right.
Ruth, for example.
I was telling her.
Esther, for example. You can look at the examples that they set. Now, Ruth's daughter-in-law, when Ruth's daughter-in-law, her son got killed, but Ruth was a good mother, had to be a good mother, because her daughter-in-law wanted to stay with her.
No, it was Naomi.
Naomi, yeah. I knew I'd get it right. Yeah, something like that. But she stayed with her, and she had to be a good mother, or she would have left her just as soon as the marriage was over. Because a lot of times you get married, when the marriage is over now, you don't have nothing to do with the in-laws no more.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't think any wives stand with the ex-mother-in-law nowadays.
The last person.
Right.
That was there.
Yeah.
Right.
And see, and as Naomi married the king, the rich guy there, she took her ex-mother-in-law with her.
Yes, we did talk about that.
It's a lot.
Ruth was one married, but Naomi was the mother.
Yeah, I knew I'd get it right.
And Boaz.
Boaz, yeah. Yeah, see, it's been a while since I've read that story, but anyhow, see, there's good examples in the Bible.
Yeah.
Mary, for example, Jesus' mother,
Amen.
a young kid, promised to be married. Now listen to what I'm telling you. And when God had a talk with her, the angel spoke to her. She was willing to lay down her life to have this child for God.
That's right.
Unmarried. Now listen to what I'm saying.
Amen.
And she was going to marry a pretty wealthy guy. I reckon Joseph was doing all right.
Joseph was a good man.
But when God talked to her, she said, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Even if I have to throw my life away. Sometimes in life we have to make sacrifices for our children. We really do. When they're sick, you have to be there for them. When they're not sick, when the wolf knocks at the door, you got to be there with a shotgun saying, "On up the road." See what I'm saying? That wolf's different. Yeah. All right, now, I'm trying to go somewhere with this. Now, we're not perfect, but as God spins that potter wheel, some people lets go of the wheel. They go out into the world. They have total chaos, drugs, don't matter what it is. And they forget the good they have with God.
Yeah.
They forget the times that God stood there beside them when they were all alone. Now, whoever in here has been alone,
Oh, goodness. Yeah,
you know the feeling of being alone.
absolutely.
It's a cruel, evil thing.
It is.
It really is.
Yes, sir.
And just think about what I'm saying here, though. God said, I was with you when you were alone.
Absolutely.
When Moses was in the desert by himself, who was with him?
God.
God. When Jesus was on the desert, or up on the mountain with Satan, God was with him. When he hung on the cross, he might have felt like he was by himself, but God was with him. He sure was. Now, don't get me wrong. If somebody was going to hurt her, would you be with her?
Right.
You'd be fighting, screaming, whatever it took. You'd get the gun out, whatever it takes. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
And God had to let him go to the cross for you. Now, when chaos come into our lives, are you prayed up? Are you studied up enough to stand when the storm comes? Now, let me give you an example of Judas in the Bible. Walked with God, talked with God, been sold him out. Can you imagine the chaos that went into his head after he realized what he did? Sometimes we make mistakes and we don't realize what's going to happen until we do it.
Amen to that.
And then when you do it, it seems like, oh man, what did I do?
Yeah.
Some people have got took it so strong that they've committed suicide.
Amen to that.
I'm serious. Life ain't easy. While you're on that pot or while you're swinging around, I'm talking about going round and round, he's trying to mold you the way he wants you. You need to pay attention to him. You need to learn. You need to listen. Because he's not forming you and putting you in valleys for any reason.
Right.
We sang a song. I got here as fast as I could. I never knew, it feels so good. But he had lessons he had to learn. In life, we've got lessons we've got to learn. We've got valleys we got to go in. Just because we're on the mountain today, tomorrow you might slide into valleys. And tomorrow you'll think,
Amen.
where's all my friends I was playing with yesterday?
Amen.
Or having a good time. They've left me all by myself. And God goes, I'm with you.
Amen.
I'll carry you through this valley.
That's all
Amen.
you need.
When your friends sell you out, now don't tell me friends won't sell you out. The disciples loved Jesus. Peter put his head in his lap and said, I'll never leave you. And he said, you'll betray me before the crow crows 3 times. And Jesus was God. Don't tell me what God, he was God.
He knew.
And see, they sold him out when he went, they didn't sell him out, but they left him when he went to the cross. They fled like a bunch of chickens. And when your trouble gets started, trust me, your friends will leave you.
Amen to that.
And you'll wonder, where's my friends?
Yeah.
Where'd they go? Well, that one told me the other day, she just loved me, or he just loved me. Where they at? Now they left me here all by myself.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? I've had that happen to me. Everybody loves you until you get into a valley. Yeah.
Doesn't want you.
And then everybody's saying, I knew they were going to get trouble. I knew that wasn't going to work. I tried to tell them, but they wasn't there. They was just all nice to you while you're doing it, yeah.
That's true.
But there is women and there is men that regrets the things that they did, especially after they got out of school.
Yeah, that's right.
Graduating's coming, and I know we got a new bunch going to graduate. 20 years from now, they'll start looking back. I've worked with a lot of kids in my life. Steve can tell you. Some of them turned out real good. Some of them teachers. Some of them in Brazil down there, Sarah. I can't think of her name now. She was Chandler. Yeah, some of them's in Ohio. Some of them's in California. And some of them's really doing good. But some of them fell to the wayside. They really did. But the seeds, now don't get me wrong, the seeds that was planted in them is still growing. Sometimes the only thing you need, even though when life looks so bad that you can't get up and you can't do nothing, when Jesus passed by, the flowers bloom.
Amen.
And when you think you're at your last rope, at your last end, what do you want to call it? I can't say the word. Jesus will walk by and watch you bloom. Watch that flower that's seed inside you bloom.
Amen. Yeah.
I've seen people, mothers, praying for their children to get saved, and the mothers have died. And the fathers would die the same way. And then years later, their children get saved with God. The seed that you planted in your child by just praying with your child come alive then when Jesus come into their life. When you talk to them about God, they might not get it as a teenager, but one day when Jesus passed by them, it might be in a church, it might be on the street, somebody will say, hey, God loves you, that flower will open up.
Yeah, that's right.
You see what I'm saying?
Amen.
So many people don't realize it, but God loves them. He really loves them with everything He's got. He even gave up heaven and come down here because He loved them that much. One word from God can change your life forever.
Amen.
Some of these mothers that's struggling in life to pay the bills, I'm serious, to take you buy clothes for their children, and they struggle. They really have a hard time trying to pay rent. But God is with them. God's saying, I love you.
Amen.
Give your bills to me. Give your worries to me. Give your child to me. Let me take care of your child.
Amen.
Can you get a better babysitter than Jesus?
Nope.
No. Because He would teach your child the way it should go.
Amen.
My kids grew up in church. Billy comes part-time. I hate to say it, but he comes part-time. But they all tell you about God. Billy will tell you about God. You want to sit down, you want to listen. You two grew up right out here at church. I know that too. Y'all's mama took y'all to church, and your daddy was part of church here for a while. He didn't know who I was out here. I was going to New Hope, and I was a youth leader New Hope. And he got out here and witnessed to me at the dump. He sure did. I'll never forget that. But I knew who he was because I knew y'all when y'all were little because Roger. I was right through there with Roger. Yeah.
That's terrible.
But y'all might not know that, but I was watching y'all when y'all was little because of Roger back here.
Yeah, he's a good man.
He's a good man. I like Roger. He's all right. But, see, as seeds, and now look at you. You're in church. You're in church. You got your daughter here at church this morning. You're hoping to give her the same thing that you received when you were younger. The gift of God.
Amen.
You've got your grandson in church this morning. You're hoping to give him the same thing that you've got inside you. Jeff grew his kids up in church. I remember when Leanne and them was all in church too, and old Matt back there was in church.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Because as a parent, now we're going to make mistakes. There's not a perfect parent alive. I made mistakes raising my children. Things I should have said to them, but I didn't say. Things I should have done with them, and I didn't have time because I was too busy working, doing other things. Anybody in here hear that song, The Cat in the Cradle and the Silver Spoon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, see,
Yeah, it's a shame.
that's us in today's life. You might not agree with me, but sometimes we get so caught up in the world because we've got so many bills,
That's right.
so many things to worry about that our children don't even know we got them to worry about, that we don't have time. But we need to take time for our children. They need us. Because not every babysitter you hire is a babysitter.
Amen.
Not every child you put your in daycare is daycare. I see on the news all the time daycare's in trouble because they've done this.
Yeah.
Not everybody you put your child's care in schools.
Right.
You put your care in the schools, and look what they're teaching your children in the schools. The things we didn't have when we were in
How to
school.
become a Muslim.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Muslims,
Yes,
yeah.
see.
Yeah.
And your child as a mother or a father needs you
Right.
in life.
That's right.
And we need not to be parents to say, do as I say. We need to be parents as leadership, do as I do.
Right.
Now, I never did get on to my children for doing something that I did. I'm serious. Now, I wanted to set a good role for my children. Now, I made enough mistakes, and they made enough mistakes without me teaching them to make mistakes in life. Life is full of mistakes. I'm made out of clay. I'm made out of dirt. So are you. I know you're pretty, everybody here is pretty now. Now, don't tell me you ain't, because every time you look in the mirror, oh, look at this, yeah. Even though some people, even though you go around the block, you'll say, where'd that ugly fella go? Yeah, I just looked in the mirror, I didn't see that ugly fella,
Working my hair today.
Do like the mom, just do this.
Yeah,
Just kinda is how I woke up.
John Travolta.
yeah. But you see, we need to teach our kids respect. They need to respect us, we need to respect them too. And I know it's hard now. It's harder now when I raised my kids than what it is now. And you wait to Dalton and yeah, and then Zach and them has children. Just think how the world's gonna be 20 years from now, or your child. Just think your grandchildren, what they're gonna have to go through 20 years from now. We see what's coming. They don't see what's coming. And I thank God that they don't see what's coming, because they need to enjoy their childhood while they can.
Amen.
So many children, their childhood is snatched out from them so quick, and they have to grow up so fast, they didn't get to enjoy their childhood because of bad parenting. Now, I mean no harm in saying that, but it's true.
Oh, it's true.
You see children struggling in school, and then when they get home, they have to struggle with their parents and stuff. You see kids picking on kids at school, and then when they get home, the parents are downing. Anybody here ever heard a child parent down them instead of uplift them?
Yeah.
Don't you know that grows a bad seed inside them?
Amen to that.
I had a ball player one time play basketball for me over at Dalton Branch. And the parent finally came to the ball game. And all he did was sit there and run his child down. I finally had to tell him to shut up. And I never did let him come back to a ball game. I said, that child's doing the best he can. I told you, Brother Eddie can't play. I said, I didn't ask you if he could play ball or not. All he did was run in. That child heard this. And just think what it did to that child up here.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
You need to uplift your children. And you don't need to be an old grouch to them every time they ask you a nice question.
Right. Right.
See what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
If you're grouchy to your children, and you get on their nerves, they're going to go to school and be grouchy to other children. How do you think you get bullies? How do you think bullies, it's the house that they come out of. If you're a bully, your child might grow up to be a bully. But as that wheel turns, and God's trying to make us perfect, you need to let God turn that wheel in your children too. You need to let that seed grow. I've seen some teenagers that were so far for God, and I've seen them change people's lives. And I've seen other teenagers on fire that changes other people's lives.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying?
That's right.
If we love God the way we say we love God, we will do everything as a parent to teach God to our children.
Amen to that.
And it's so easy to teach our children worldly stuff. I have more scriptures I just didn't get to them. It's so easy to teach them worldly stuff. You just turn on the computer, the computer will teach them worldly stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Turn on TV and leave them there. They'll learn plenty of
TV,
it.
cell
They'll learn
phone,
things. And what do you think's babysitting a lot of kids?
TV.
Video
Not just
games?
babysitting, it's affecting their,
Mine.
All you
yeah,
gotta do
their
is watch
reality.
Roseanne.
Yeah.
That
They
right
get
there.
their reality from TV.
Everything.
That's all she does, Park Grace, right in front of that TV, and I said.
My TV, I pay dish, and my TV's never on. Don't lie in church.
Well, I tell her.
You want to throw that chair at everybody look this way.
No, I'm gonna get my house key back. He'll
I
be.
try to
Well, everybody's, that
I take it
TV,
back.
you've got to constantly govern that TV to a certain point, just make it into a good habit. And how you do that is you go back to the, but.
Now, I tell you, I handled that. See, when my kids was at home, I had my TV so I could watch gospels, shows, whatever I wanted to, and they had a TV themselves. But I would pay Cassie $1. Everything stuff went right on TV. She'd come in there and tell me about it. $1. So I knew what the boys was watching because I turned on my TV and it didn't be my fancy. I said, y'all don't watch it no more. Cassie, I'll give you $5 if they turn it back on.
Billy told me that's how you do, and you
Yeah.
never snitch.
Yeah, she was my little snitch, and I made her snitch for me.
Wonder you hadn't got Cassie to whoop it.
Well, anyhow, I'm gonna wind this down now. I need y'all to call y'all's mothers if they're still living, tell them that you love them.
Right.
We went to the nursing home yesterday, and some of them mothers in there, they've lost their mind completely. I'm talking about old timers, I don't mean nothing.
Yeah.
And they don't even know they're a mother. Brandon Morgan's,
Mom.
Yeah.
My aunt.
I knew she was in there, and I knew she had old timers, but Phyllis didn't even know she was in there, and she don't even know who we are anymore. She don't even know who you are. Just because you know somebody, some old folk might know you today, next year their mind might be gone. And say you love your mom, you love your dad, and if they got old timers, that's going to really hurt you when you say I love you, Dad, or I love you, Mom. They look you in the eye and say, who are you?
My mama's got dementia right now, and I hardly ever go up there. And that's been haunting me to get back up there and see her more and more and more.
See,
She might not know you, but you know her.
Yeah, she still knows me, but it's slowly advancing, but it's barely a moving. God has really blessed her life. I mean, as far as the aging and not getting worse, He's blessed her.
So I encourage you, take your mother out to eat today, if you still got a mother, grandmother. Like I told you, my grandmother was my mother, and if she was still alive, I'd be taking her out for dinner. I
That's the
sure
same way
would.
we do Jesus the same way. We take him for granted sometimes, you know.
Well, you need to appreciate your mom and dad or your grandma and grandpa because one day they will be gone. You don't know how blessed you are to be able to.
And you got
hug them
regret
and
when you
tell
go
them you love them.
over that, past that casket. Every time you got regret in your mind. And it's too late then. I've been that way with Ken folks and why didn't I go visit him? Why? Do it now. It's hard to just drop what you're doing and go.
Andy Daddy.
I knew their grandpa Henry, one of the best hunters around. I liked hunting with him. You know, I didn't get to hunt with him much, but he'd come up where we were hunting at.
What did he say about his dogs?
I have tell that story some other
Yeah,
times.
that's
Steph would like to hear that.
I like it.
Oh,
Yeah, we got in trouble because we was hunting on posted land, see, but we was allowed to hunt here, but this property here was
Yeah.
posted. And he come up about that time, and he goes, I've taught my dog to hush when they get posted land, then when they get off posted land.
Smart dog.
That's
Yeah.
Grandpa
And
Henry.
Bill looked at us and said, boy, I'd like to buy some of your dogs if they do that.
That's the way Christians do too. We do the same thing sometimes. We try to
Yeah.
stretch it around, try to make it look good, you know, but it ain't.
But now he's gone.
But now he's gone.
Yeah.
You ain't got Pa Henry no more. And I mean, no harm in saying
No,
that.
I know.
I saw y'all's granny,
That's true.
Pa Henry's wife, the other day, and she had some children. She said, Brother Eddie, when you're doing stuff this summer, call me. I need these grandkids to go with you. And I said, I'll be more than happy to pick them up.
They drive her crazy.
Sure would. That's all we want you
She's
to
on
take
the
them
power
away.
off, yeah.
Yeah, but we, as the birds asked me, since she had 3 or 4 grandkids up with her, she sure did.
All his studies.
Huh?
He likes to produce, but he don't like to.
Yeah, he's
Raising.
good. He plants seeds and then leaves the vineyard. Yeah, he does
There's
that.
parents like that, you know,
It's
don't have
epidemic.
nothing to do with their
It's-
children, and
it's
it's their
epidemic.
loss. It's actually their loss.
Yeah.
Sin is
I mean, no harm in saying that, but there's parents that does
It's
that.
true.
All right, anybody else want to add anything to this before we close down?
Just make sure God gets the lumps out of your life.
When you're ready to meet God, trust me, when He's through that pottery, you'll be ready.
That's right.
You'll be ready.
Amen.
Just stick with it. When the going gets rough and you start spinning out of control, remember, His hands is on you.
Well, he touched my hand that night, Eddie, and I prayed. I said, I'm getting so tired. Where are you at, Lord? He was right there with me. Just hang in there, and he's there. He said he'd be there. God can't lie.
All right, if you're able to stand, please